Okay, so I'm back. Vera Raccoon, part 2. Uh, alright. Well, I'm gonna try to do this now. Hopefully I can focus. Alright. This, came from my character profile on Ghost. If you, looked at it, I brought it up, posted it, whatever, because of the new movie Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's a very interesting character, and a lot of you that are into computers and hacking and all that kind of stuff I think, would find him very interesting. Him. Okay, so here we go. There's no way around it, and for those of you that do follow me, I shoot straight from the hip. Okay. So, I am pro equality, to a point. I love female characters in the comic book world. There are some great female superheroes and nemesises. Some of my favorites are Gamora and Blink, and Jean Grey is a great one. In fact, the Wasp is actually a really cool character that they're bringing in, and I think all of you are gonna really enjoy her, and I'm glad that they're bringing her in. But I have a problem with them making Ghost a girl, and here's why. The comic book arc that they're using the Ghost character from is male. If you read comic books, there's all these different worlds and arcs and changes that they make. Like, for example, in Spider-Gwen, Sam Wilson is younger, and he's kind of into teenage girls and things like that, and Captain America is a girl, and she's younger, and they refer to Spider-Gwen as Spider-Woman, and Frank Castle is kind of overweight, and he's kind of washed up, and all this stuff. So if you're familiar with how comic books work, they tend to change it up. And I'm okay with that in the comic book world. But when you're working with a movie, it's almost as if they're working, the writers, directors, producers, whatever you want to call them, all those people, are trying to find a ratio of women to men ratio. And I don't like it. I'm going to go into the movie with an open mind, but I don't think it's really necessary to do that. You know, I notice it in shows and commercials, and it's not just about gender, it's about ethnicity. It seems to me like they have to, if it's a commercial, they have to make sure to expose you to every ethnicity in one commercial. You know, it's okay to leave out a Caucasian. It's not going to break the world. You know, everybody's so afraid of of walking on eggshells, or not walking on eggshells, but everybody's walking on eggshells because they're afraid they're going to, excuse me, they're afraid they're going to offend somebody. Oh, this toilet paper commercial didn't include a Caucasian, and I'm using Caucasian because I am one. um, Excuse me, it doesn't matter if it's a family of Asians or African Americans or people from India. I don't care. It doesn't need a Caucasian peeking in the window to be a good commercial. Come on. That's not why we're watching a commercial. I'm not sitting there counting on my fingers how many, um, you know, African Americans compared to white people. It's insane. And we don't need that in movies either. Let's see. There's 5 men and 1 chick. You know, I'm sorry. The Wasp is going to carry the female character on her own. She's going to carry it and own it. She doesn't need to have this female ghost figure. I just don't understand. And, I'm probably bitching about nothing, and if you're watching this, you're probably going, oh, geez, shut up. But I'm just noticing it more and more. What's wrong with the way the character is? I don't understand. I don't want to watch The Punisher and have him be a girl. I don't want to see Jessica Jones become Jeffrey Jones. I just don't. Call me crazy. Luke Cage doesn't need to be Lucille Cage. You know what I'm saying? God. Everybody is just, it's going crazy, don't you think? Unless you're doing an arc, leave things the way they are. Now, I have no problem with changing things up a little with, for example, a lot of people made a stink about the Valkyrie in Thor. Because everybody was saying the Valkyrie should be light-skinned with blonde hair. I don't care. The character, the actress that played her, I can't even think of her name right now, she was fantastic. I didn't even think about that when I was watching it. But if she would have been a male, I would have had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Zazie Beetz playing Domino. At first it was such a drastic change in look, with the huge hair and the face was completely different than what I was used to. I was leery. I have to admit, I was like, how are they going to pull that off? She doesn't look anything like Domino. But I went in there and I watched it, and she was absolutely amazing. But she wasn't a guy. She just had a different look. I'm okay with experimenting with looks, but I didn't want her to be a guy. Oh. There's certain things you can mess with, and there's certain things you can't. And in the world of comics, where some things are really certain and we're attached to characters, leave them alone. You can mess with the look, but leave them as the right gender. Okay? That's all I'm saying. If you want to experiment with the different gender, change the arc. Make it all different. Then I'm right on board with you. But if you're going with a more classic storyline, make Ghost a guy. Like I said, I will watch the movie, and like I said, she may be very good, but it's so hard when you know that this character should be a guy. I just sit there and go, why? Why do they feel, you know, I know you're trying to sell this movie, and I know, but if you keep doing that, that's what everybody's going to expect. You know, can't you just keep with some tradition? It's okay to stick with some tradition. Not everything needs to be radically changed. The world's evolving, yeah, in some ways, but not everything has to be so pro this and pro that. You know? I just don't, I don't know. You know, they're so worried about this and that, but they still give some of these characters, these women, tight outfits and lots of cleavage. You know what I'm saying? So let's work on that. If you want to point at something or change something, fix some of these costumes. Give me a break. All right, that's my rant. That's what I wanted to talk about. You know, that's what I wanted to say. And you're allowed to disagree with me. Some of you may agree with me. I don't know, but I just have a beef with that. It just kind of irritates me. And I don't know if I don't know. I just don't think I'd sell out a story just to do that. I would want to stick with the classic idea behind a character. This is the way I am. And if I owned Marvel, anyway, folks, that's all I wanted to say. And if you're still with me and not throwing your cell phone across the room or rolling your eyes, thanks for listening. Feel free to comment. Just be polite. Bye.